Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Roark Critchlow, star of the Lifetime movie Lies and the Ex-Wife's Secrets on Maple Street. Roark takes on the role of Roger. Join us as we delve into Roark insights into his character and the challenges of filming this movie. Thank you for being here, Roark.
My pleasure. Thank you.
For me too. So, change of project. Recently, you joined as a guest star the TV show Irrational. Can you tell us a little bit about the story of your character and any memories from the set?
This is the truth about Hollywood. This is true Hollywood stories. Irrational is a well-written show that has a lot of layers. So there's a lot of little stories happening. My role was very small, but it's like sometimes you have a situation where it's a mystery or whatever. They're always mysteries, and so the people are trying to figure stuff out, and you need to have a clue that allows them to carry on with their detective work. And I very much was just part of a scene that gave a clue to the story that needed to be told. So it was, everybody's good at nice, I mean, it was a good experience. The director and I had a funny experience. It's hard to explain though, because we had an interesting moment. But more than that, it was me as an actor going, okay, I'm not here to be some superstar actor. I'm here to take this story and move it from here to here.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. So it was nice. It's good to stay in touch with what's going on and to understand the story so that you can do a better job, and to be able to give everything you have if that's what is required, and to be able to say, oh, this isn't about me. I'm moving the story along. Do as best you can, but make sure that everything is clear. So, I'm going to be teaching acting at a college in a town in Canada, starting in the fall in October. So teaching acting on film acting. So it's good to be able to have the experiences where you're reminded about things that you can teach people, so that they understand, if they get out of school and they get a job, and then they can realize not only how to do the job, but what the job is and what's the best way for them to do the best job they can, even when it doesn't feel like they're being, the hero.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that was good. And
amazing.
Yeah.
And another project, more of 20 years ago, you joined as a guest star, Charmed. Can you share a little bit about your time in the show? What do you remember of this show?
Again, it's funny because the role, it was another one where my character tells a story or tells a part of the story, but it's at the very beginning. So it's set up the conflict for that episode.
Yeah.
But like there was a piece of bad magic that involved this box, and I get the box, and the box slowly turns you from being an average person or whatever into being a bit crazy, and it's like a drug. The box is like a drug. You need to have this. Oh, okay, you have to have this whatever this feeling is. The spell makes you feel. So once again, I was more acting with a box than with anybody else on set. It was a good set. We were downtown Los Angeles. So it was, big show, and everybody was. It was a successful show too. So people were confident. It was moving along. I didn't actually really act with anyone else. I just sort of did this thing where I slowly became more and more obsessed with this box, and then and I lose the box. The box gets some mean person, some witch person, not one of the heroes, not one of the girls, but a bad guy, knocks the box out of my hand and it falls into the street. And I go running, I need my box, I need my box. And this bus goes, oh, shit, kills me. So that was it. I
That was
got
it.
crushed
Okay.
by a bus on Charm.
Okay.
I've
Thank you
died a
for
lot. I've died a lot, Desiree. I've died a lot of shows. I've wound up dead. That
yeah,
was a good one though. It was really,
yes.
I need my box.
And that's
Oops.
it. So you have to know that we are big fans of Pretty Little Liars.
Oh,
So we have to ask you, can you share
mhm.
a little bit about your time in the show Pretty Little Liars?
So I was Hannah's dad. So
Yeah.
Ashley played Hannah. Um, we met first season, I think episode 2 or 3 or whatever. And she was 17, 18, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. I don't know how old she was. Not very old. And I'm not young. So you get onto a show, you go, well, what am I going to talk with about this person? To when I'm talking to this actor who's a star of the show. Again, I'm the dad. I am not the hero of this piece. Um, but you want to get along with the person. And how do you talk to a 17? I've got 2 daughters. I know I've had 17-year-old, but they were, in the different situation. Okay, so we were kind of uncomfortable for a bit. And not bad, just like, she had a phone. So it's like, hi, how are you? Great. Okay. And back to the phone. So I forget how it came up, but I started talking about Days of Our Lives because um I don't know why, or it might have been her even, or someone else said, oh, I remember you from Days of Our Lives. And she says, well, who were you on Days of Our Lives? I said, oh, I was Mike Horton. She goes, oh, I played I played your niece on Days of Our Lives when I was 2 years old, when Missy Reeves had the baby. What's Missy's character? Uh, Mike and the heck was my sister's name on the show? Anyway, Missy Reeves' character was my sister, and she had a baby, and so they had to have baby actors occasionally. And Ashley was 2 years old on the same set as me as on Days of Our Lives, and her name she played Ashley was the name of the baby that she played. So it was just fun because then we were like laughing about like connections and all that stuff, and we got talking enough that we both realized that we were kind of fun. I think she was, no offense to anybody, I think she was the funnest little liar in real life. We could laugh, and we were kind of naughty, I wasn't too serious about it, and she like she's got a good sense of humor, and we had some fun.
Great.
So yeah, other than that, it was a great job. I mean, on top of that, it was a great job.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the story of your character in Pretty Little Liars? And
Oh,
go.
and sorry.
And what do you remain in your memories about that?
Oh boy. Um, well, it's mostly about how it affects other people because it was a very, very popular show. My character didn't really do that much except be a dad. I was mean to Hannah. My kids, I have 3 children, and they were um early 20s and teenagers when the show was on. So they were like asking why I was so mean to Hannah. I didn't think I was I didn't think I was actually being mean. I think she needed a stronger hand. I think she needed a little bit of discipline, like some discipline in her life. She was out of control. I wasn't mean. I was trying to help her.
Yeah.
Um, more, more interesting, but the job itself, again, it's a job, and so it was good fun and good to act with Ashley, and that's about all. Oh, and I forget. Oh, the lady who played my wife. Oh, shoot.
In Pretty
Sorry.
Little Liars.
Yeah. the heck was her name?
It was
'Cause I've
Ashley.
been-
Ashley.
Sorry?
Ashley.
No, but my wife,
Yeah.
another Ashley, who was a redheaded
Exactly.
one that we had. I mean, we have actually we played what husband and wife in two other movies, movies of the week before that, I think. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't shoot. Anyway, um,
I'm searching.
well, good people to work with, but more important is like, or more interesting is how uh
Yeah. In the show,
people.
the name of the mom of Hannah was Ashley.
Mhm.
The
Oh, okay, right.
actress.
So there was Ashley all over. That's right. The names were very, very strange. Yeah, Ashley was the mom, but Ashley was really Ashley. And then Hannah, maybe, yeah, I forget how it worked. Anyway, lots of names. But it was a, there's been very few bad experiences with shows and actors, a couple, but mostly people are pretty down to earth and pretty good. So that was a good set to be on. And then it's just the way people remember it. There's still people who are young people who remember me as Tom Marin, and older people who remember me as Dr. Mike. And sometimes the mom and the daughter say, "Oh," mom says Dr. Mike, and the daughter who's 20 says Hannah's dad at the same time, right? So it's just like yes, yes, and yes. Um, yeah. So I mean, once the thing is done, and to have, it's lovely when a show is that popular, that successful, that people recognize you because it means they enjoyed the show, right? Like they watched they enjoyed whatever I was doing, but they enjoyed the show. It gave them some mystery to look at for a while, made some fun in their life. That's kind of that's what you take from it. Like it's been a long time. It's been 5 or 6 years, so maybe more. So uh, it's each set is sets are kind of similar. Each movie is kind of similar.
Yeah.
You know, uh, the experience itself just depends on who you're acting with, and then after you're done, you go do the next thing, and it's when the people say, "Oh, I loved you in that," or "Oh, you were mean to Hannah," why, blah. There's, there are people who take it very seriously. I've I've run into some people who really didn't like me because I was mean to Hannah. Um,
No.
I it's hard to explain to somebody you're just acting, but but it's fun. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. So, change of subject,
Mhm.
career in general. What have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career, and why for you, of course?
Working with Adam Sandler on Mr. Deeds was a high point because it was one of the first big movies I did. And people still watch it and still remember this. It's not a large character, but I get beat up by Adam Sandler on film. Who wouldn't enjoy that?
Yeah.
And it was a great time. Good. I mean, he makes sure that his sets are fun and easy, relaxed. Battlestar Galactica was a good thing. I really enjoyed the role, and I enjoyed working with Katie Sackhoff, because we had a really interesting relationship. It was different, and it was a musical relationship, and I'm musical. So that was, and again, people really responded to that one. I don't Sometimes people who liked Battlestar Galactica really liked Battlestar Galactica, and so they understood what I was doing in the show. I had another, again, an important thing that I had, piece of information that I had to give to the humans, so that they could survive. So it was kind of fun, but it was just a great role. And Katie and I thought locked in pretty good. I just worked with them in a movie called I forget what the name of. Don't Scream, It's Me. It's but they'll probably change the title before it gets to TV. But I was like 3 weeks ago. Did a role where I'm an escaped murder murderer from prison. Um, so I get to be sort of the bad guy. in a thriller movie about this woman who I come to her house and whatever. And it's I never tell what goes on. I only say what the character, I never tell the story when I'm talking about movies. Uh, but the director is a woman named Wendy Ord, and we really created between the two of us, we came up with a really super interesting character. So it was nice because often nowadays I play a dad or I play a lawyer or some guy in a suit, right? Uh, or a dad in a suit, you know,
Yeah.
or more likely an asshole in a suit, you know. I play a jerk in a suit. So this was nice to be, um, yeah, something different, pretty gritty, scary kind of guy. But still lots of layers of, not just that. It's not just a psycho murderer. I'm an interesting fellow with a with a story to tell. So anyway, it was a super fun project. Um, that so yeah, it's nice that it still is. Then the Irrational was in January. So and I worked on Tron Ares. It's the third movie in the Tron series. I was working with Jared Leto in January as well on that. Um, so yeah, it's not. I don't. Maybe it's just because they're more recent that I remember them well. But I mean, I don't know what I was doing 15 years ago. Come on, I barely remember the roles. No, it's been a good year, and a lot of different things have been happening. I I play a very different role in Tron than I did in Maple Street, and then I do in the last one too, the Murderer. So I'm getting to do a lot of fun acting.
Great. So, at Survival Shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-coms. What is your all-time favorite? Or Christmas movie? The one um you watched as a child or with your child every Christmas?
Oh, I'm old. So the best Christmas movie for me is one called A Christmas Story or The Christmas Story. And it's about it's funny. It's a comedy. And it's about a young guy who really wants the pellet rifle, and I forget what he get pellet rifle and a red racer wagon or something. I know, but he really wanted that BB gun. He wanted the BB gun. And I don't it's I just thought that the way that movie was written is really, really fun and funny. And for me, that's what Christmas should be. It should be an awful. Everything should just be fun. So yeah, I it's really hard to remember the names of the Hallmark Christmas movies that I've been in because I've been in a lot. So I don't remember them by the name. I remember them by the experience. Um, so the one that was about the Christmas tree farm, I think 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Anyway, I had a really good relationship with the guy who played my son in that one. And I got to dress up as Santa, which I think is like the second time in my life I got to dress up as Santa. But yeah, I really enjoyed acting with that guy. I'm sorry, I forget it. Sorry, buddy. Forget your name. I've got about 120 sets that I've been on, and I don't remember everybody that I've worked with, unfortunately. Um, shit. Oh, sorry, I can't curse. I cursed. Um, anyway, that's not good interview talk, is it? Yeah, I should have looked that one up. I didn't. Sorry, Desiree.
I was trying to help you, but
I know there's too many. I've played a dad in the Christmas movie. I've played granddad in Christmas movies.
Ooh,
Um, gosh, there's been a lot, and yeah. Anyway, sorry. That's it. Cut that
it.
part out.
I was trying to help you, but the
Yeah,
next
no.
question.
But yeah, moving on.
Can you tease something about your next project?
I think I got them all. I think that Tron is a big, it's Disney. It's probably gonna be in theaters. I'm not sure when, but that was in January. Irrational probably already aired. Maple Street's coming out probably in October, which we've been talking about. This one, Don't Scream, It's Me, is probably going to be out before the end of the year,
Mhm.
with The Murderer. And I just did the second. There's a fun series of movies that's on Hallmark, called oh, Sweet River, uh, The Case of the Winemaker. It's like a murder mystery with Candace Bure in it, as the lead, like Aurora Teagarden. So she's a detective named Ainsley, and we did one in December, and then we just shot another one no, 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
last week. God, I don't know. And so it's going to be on Hallmark, I think, and it's going to be a series of murder mysteries about a book club that in a small town that starts to try to, solve the mysteries that are
Yeah,
going on in the town. So yeah, that's coming out too, probably before Christmas. And we might be making we'll probably be making another one of those. So yeah, it's fun, a lot going on.
amazing. So this is it. Make sure to watch the movie with Rourke, Secrets on Maple Street, on
Yeah, yeah.
Lifetime. Okay.
Mhm.
And thank you for being here, Rourke.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you for joining us.
Hmm.
And thank you all for watching us. Bye.
Bye. See you on the TV.